Welcome to episode 7 of Super Bowl 60 Preview by Review. This episode is going to take a slight deviation as we are not looking at a matchup between the Seahawks and Patriots. Instead, we are moving on to the Patriots' first Super Bowl as we continue through chronologically in history. The Patriots' first Super Bowl is a bit of a surprising one as it came at the end of the 1985 season. They went on the road and upset their way into Super Bowl 20. Knocking off the Jets, the Raiders, and the Dolphins to face off against the Chicago Bears, where Mike Ditka brought the 17-1 fearsome Chicago Bears into the Louisiana Superdome to take on Raymond Berry's 14-5 New England Patriots. In the first quarter, Tony Franklin opened the scoring with a 36-yard field goal, and the Patriots led 3-0. Then Kevin Butler hit a 28-yard field goal to tie the game at 3. Kevin Butler then hit a 24-yard field goal to give the Bears a 6-3 lead. Matt Suhey ran it in from 11 yards out. Kevin Butler's extra point put the Bears up 13-3. Jim McMahon in the second quarter ran it in from 2 yards out. Kevin Butler's extra point gave the Bears a 20-3 lead. Then Kevin Butler hit a 24-yard field goal, and the Bears led 23-3 at the half. In the third quarter, Jim McMahon ran it in from 1 yard out. Kevin Butler's extra point gave the Bears a 30-3 lead. Then Reggie Phillips took an interception back 28 yards for a score. Kevin Butler's extra point gave the Bears a 37-3 lead. The refrigerator, William Perry, rumbled over from a yard out. Kevin Butler's extra point put the Bears up 44-3. In the fourth quarter, Irving Fryer caught an 8-yard pass from Steve Grogan. Tony Franklin's extra point cut the Bears' lead to 44-10. And then a safety as Henry Waxter tackled Steve Grogan in the end zone to give the Bears the 46-10 final score. The game was played in a dome on AstroTurf. The Bears were favored by 10, and they covered. Richard Dent was named Super Bowl MVP. The Bears turned it over twice, but the Patriots turned it over 6 times. Statistically for the Bears, Jim McMahon threw for 256 yards. He was sacked once. Steve Fuller he was 0 for 4 passing. He was sacked once. And William the Refrigerator Perry is somehow given a sack in this game. Walter Payton ran for 61 yards, but sadly did not score a touchdown, and it's one of the biggest travesties in Super Bowl history that Sweetness did not score. Willie Gault had 129 yards receiving. For the Patriots, Steve Grogan threw for 177 yards, 1 touchdown, 2 interceptions. He was sacked 4 times. Tony Eason, the starter, worst starter in Super Bowl history statistically, 0 for 6, 3 sacks. Rushing the ball, your leading Patriot runner was Tony Collins with 4 yards. That was the best the Patriots could do on the ground in this game. Stanley Morgan had 51 yards receiving on 6 catches. Defensively, for the 46, the Bears, Reggie Phillips had the 28-yard pick 6. Jim Morrissey had 47 yards on 1 interception. Otis Wilson had 2 sacks. Richard Dent had a sack and a half. Dan Hampton, Steve McMichael, and Henry Waxter all had a sack, and Wilbur Marshall had half a sack. Dan Hampton recovered a fumble. Wilbur Marshall had one for 13 yards, and Dennis Gentry recovered a fumble. For the Patriots, Dennis Owens got 2 sacks. Ben Thomas had 1 sack. Larry McGrew and Raymond Claiborne both recovered fumbles. Returning kicks and punts for the Bears, Willie Gault had 49 yards on 4 kick returns, and Keith Ortego had 20 yards on 2 punt returns. For the Patriots, Steven Starring had 153 yards on 7 kick returns, and Irving Fryer had 22 yards on 2 punt returns. And the Bears beat the Patriots 46-10, sending the Patriots Super Bowl record at that time to 0-1. And let's take a look at Scorigami and see if it counts. 46-10 has happened twice. Originally, the Canton Bulldogs and Cleveland Indians in 1923, but most recently, yes, 40 years ago, the Bears and Patriots performed it. It has only happened twice. I guess you could call it a twice-agami. Taking a look at the uniform, here's the uniform matchup for the Bears and Patriots. And because it's a Super Bowl, we also have the field design. The game is broadcast on NBC with Dick Enberg, Merlin Olsen, and Bob Greasy on the call. So the Patriots dropped 0-1, and stay tuned for more in Super Bowl preview by